This is a video on how to enter data if it's highly frequencied and to use a frequency list to calculate one of our stats. Now, if you're only doing the average, you should be able to do this on the main screen. But if you want more than just the average, the mean, you need to learn how to use one of our stats with a frequency list or the online frequency calculator. So we're going to go back to stat edit, and this is my old list, so we want to clear that out. So you go up above here to L1, you hit clear and down arrow. Clear, down arrow. You got to be on the list though, clear, down arrow. And I want to do this on the left. So you're going to put in the data values, the X's, and then you're going to put in their frequencies. So 200 times. So we don't want to sit there and enter all of those, 10 in 200 times, 12 in 150 times, 16 in 90 times, and 25 in 45 times. That just would take way too long. So we use what's called a frequency list. So we're going to go back to stat, over to calc, one var stats, and now for frequency list, we're going to choose L2. So this is where you go second list, and you pick L2. Again, do not type the letter L in the number 2. That's going to mess everything up. You just choose these lists down here as I showed you in the first video to set them up and to keep them up there forever. And then calculate. So here are all your one var stats for this set of data that's highly frequency, meaning there's a lot of repetition. And you can scroll down to get all your one var stats. If you have to go online, you're going to go to the HECMath, Highly Frequency Data Calculator HECMath. And just tap on that. That'll take you right there. Here it is. And you're going to put in your data separated by a comma. So 10, 12, 16, and 25. And then below it, you're going to type the letter F, colon, and then the frequencies. So 200, 150, 90, and 45. And then you're going to calculate. And you got to pull down a little bit to get, so there's the average, minimum and maximum. It's kind of all over the place here. Standard deviation, your quartiles, your median. Remember that the second quartile is the median. Deciles, which you won't need, but where it says other statistical characteristics, that's where you want to go to get all the information you need. While I'm on here, let's say you had values like this. You can input weights. So this is a set of grades that back in the old style of grading that we used to have, we used to attach weights to particular bins. So you cannot enter these decimals on the online calculator. So I'll put these in. I'll show you what you'd have to do. You would put in 90, 85, and 96. Those are the three being used. And then you have to go with whole number values. So you would do 15, comma 30, comma 50. So the 5% that was the projects is left out. That's not even part of the grade yet. So you turn the decimals into percents, whole numbers. And this calculator will only take that. So then it will generate this, and we're again interested in the mean, 91.57, because we're calculating a grade here. If you're using the calculator, we'll go back, you're going to go back to stat. So everything that occurs through stat edit when you're entering information. And then when you're calculating, you go stat over to calc. Edit in calc under the stat menu. Everything occurs So we'll go edit, and now we've just put in this data. And you can, on the calculator, put it in exactly as you see it. So 90, 85, 96, and we'll delete that out. And then 15, well, we'll go 0.15. Oops, 0.15, 0.30, 0.50, and delete that out. So it's over the sum of the weights used. So if you're not using a weight, in a grading system, you don't include that until you have a grade for that. And back to stat, over to calc, one var stats, frequency list is L2, we're good. And then you calculate. So you'll see that that set of data is the same as the set of data that the frequency table generated. So 91.578. Yep, same thing. So that's how you can do data or one var stats for highly frequency data or for weighted data. It's probably good at some point to become familiar with the using L2 as a frequency list. What you should do, though, because it's not real common, is that you go back on stat calc and erase the frequency list out of there, because you're not going to very often use that, and it's probably safe just to do that. You're going to be by hand doing this more than using one var stats to do it, or the online calculator, but I wanted to show it just in case you had some question like what the median is or something like that. You would know where to go and how to enter the data. So that's how to use one var stats to find descriptive statistics calculations for highly frequency data or weighted data.